the education fraternity or card. And now more than ever, adoption of technology has become imperative. But there are more questions than answers. All of us are coping to the online dynamics. I think all of us are looking for chances to be more productive, more efficient, while also exploring newer methodologies, teaching methodologies that can give us and benefit the learning outcomes. It's but the right time to ensure the use of digital tools that we have to make education delivery accessible and meaningful for all our students. The questions remain obviously of how to put together assessment in the modules, how to bring together the practicals which are real time that are to be done in the fields, and also how to reach out to the students who do not have access to the internet. These are the challenges as education fraternity that we have faced and that we face right now. But I believe together, the whole idea and objective of having the series of talks by the education leaders from different parts of the world is primarily to share best experiences and technology and instructional tools that can help online learning outcomes. So I would not take much time. We would like to hear from our speakers on what best they are doing in their respective institutions that could benefit others in the education sector. We have today Dr. Gopala Reddy with us, who is from Alabama University, Director of Tuskegee University in Alabama. We have Dr. Shimon Ratnovich, who is the professor from the Ben Gurion University in Israel. We have Dr. W.G. Prasanna Kumarji, who is the chairman of MGNCRE Telangana. We have Dr. M.S. Subhash, Vice Chancellor of Krishna Devaraya University from Bellary, Karnataka. We have Dr. Kamel Ghazwani, who is an economist and will bring in his perspective from Tunisia. We have Dr. S.B. Dandin, who is the ex-Vice Chancellor of UHS Bagalkot from Karnataka. We also have Professor Dr. Ratnagiriji, who is the President and CEO of Genomics Biotech Incorporation, Atlanta, USA. We have two special invitees here. We have Srimati Vijay Lakshmi Vijay Kumar, who has been working on discussions and dialogues wherein she is researching on how we could integrate education and art together. Now that we are all online, we could explore possibilities of hybridized learning. We also have here with us today Dr. Ayla Al-Jofri. She heads World Women Leading Change, which has over 3 million women leaders together in a forum. So the special invitees would be asked to speak after the speakers. And I welcome all of you again today on behalf of our university and the education fraternity on the whole. Now I pass the baton to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. D.L. Maheshwar, who will be leading you through as a moderator for the entire event. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam. Dr. Rupa Vasudevan, the Chancellor of the Bharatiya Engineering Science Technology Innovative University. And Madam has oriented the prospects of this webinar, and she has set the platform ready for this today's part 3 series of the webinar. Well, friends, I have a few general instructions to the speakers and the participants would be, I request you all of you to switch off your microphones and cameras so that we can enjoy the better bandwidth of during the webinar. And each speaker, panel experts will be given a time of 10 minutes. And at the end of 9th minute, I'll be showing the time flag card. And with this, you will be able to complete your schedule of 10 minutes. And as Dr. Rupa Vasudevan has apprised, today is our third series of the adoption technology in the event of COVID, and where best the education could able to make its headway. As you all aware, a great paradigm shift has been occurred in the global education system, and more so in countries like India. In days to come, in another 15 years, more than 50% of the youth mass will be in the higher education. Now, in our webinar one series, we could able to get the impression of that there is a greater optimism of the institutions in initiating this technology adoption. Then in the webinar 2, we came to understand that there is a need for educating the tutors and the teachers as well as the institutional framework to suit into this adoption of the technology. Well, in this today galaxy of more than 7 expert speakers and 2 support speakers, I'm sure that there are a lot of insights and views will emerge to take up this technology adoption in a better perspective. Well, with this, I now request the first speaker, Dr. Gopala Reddy. Let me have the opportunity of briefing the Dr. Reddy's performance. Dr. Reddy, Gopala Reddy is the director of University of Tuskegee, Alabama in USA, and he has a specialized experience in veterinary discipline. He has served as an acting dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine, Tuskegee University in Alabama. He has served as director of international programs of College of Veterinary Sciences and Medicine. He is a member of the American Veterinary Medical Association and American Society of Microbiology. He is a recipient of Distinguished Faculty Performance Award, Honorary Diploma from the American University, and also a Pfizer Award for Excellent Research. He has published more than 60 peer-reviewed articles and is currently the reviewer of American Journal of Veterinary Research. May I now request Dr. Gopal Reddy to initiate his discourse in this today's webinar. Dr. Reddy, please.
Okay, thank you very much for that invitation and introduction, Vice Chancellor, sir. I also should thank Dr. Manmohan Singh for inviting me to participate in this meeting. I have known Dr. Manmohan Singh for a long time, ever since he was also Vice Chancellor for the Veterinary University in Tirupati, India, and also Special Secretary for the Animal Husbandry in erstwhile Andhra Pradesh state. Anyway, I'm not new to India. Several times I visit the university. Still, we collaborate with both universities in Hyderabad and Tirupati. Also served as a Fulbright visiting professor 2 times in India. With that introduction, which you already heard, let's go on to talk about the online teaching that we had to adapt suddenly. At our university, all our students went on what we call as a spring break in early March. Until that time, we had students on the campus, but when they went on that 1-week spring break, we announced that they will not be coming back to the campus, and we started teaching online courses in about a week's time. Everybody has to adapt online teaching. All the professors and instructors in the university had to adapt online teaching. But before going on to online teaching, we also use what's known as Blackboard. I don't know how many of you are aware of Blackboard as a online web-based software that we use to give all the PowerPoint slides that we use in our lectures, as well as our lecture notes is available to all students all the time, even before this COVID restriction on the campus. They can view all the lecture notes and PowerPoint slides that we use in the classes all the time. So that's been there for a long time. Every semester before we start, every instructor must put those slides and lecture notes online. So that's one tool that we have been using. But when we started online lectures, say middle of March, some of us used either Blackboard Ultra, which will facilitate both online teaching as well as use all the PowerPoint slides and lecture notes already on the web. Some of us have been using Zoom, for example. We have not used Google Meet as yet. Some of us have also used WebEx as the online teaching tool. No problem. Most students have internet at home, so there is not much problem here. But the main problem is conducting the examinations. We conduct at least 2 examinations during the semester and a final exam, which we finished just this week. That's a little bit challenge. How we can administer the exam. What we did is either use 2 hours and 100 questions, mostly multiple choice. We can use the short answer questions and also true or false and all those type multiple choice questions. But the challenge is how to control any cheating that might occur during that 2-hour period, because we cannot watch 100 students at the time. Some of us used what we call as on the Blackboard itself, we can use what's known as responders that will limit their viewing anything else on the computer itself, but they can still look at the notes because we cannot watch them. So there is another software that some of us have started using. It's still a challenge because some of the students reported they could not download that what we call as ProctorU. ProctorU is another software that will not allow them to view anything else, make any side movements or anything like that, to look at the notes, look at other things on the computer or cell phones to answer the questions. So that's the one challenge we are still working on, how to manage cheating by the students. It can occur even here. So with that, I can not much to say. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Anyway, we will be mostly continuing through this summer until we start our fall semester, which starts in middle of August. We are still working on whether to ask the students to come back to the campus or continue online teaching. That's not resolved as yet. We have to make, if we ask the students to come back, we must maintain that 6 feet distance between each student. So that's the question. We don't have that big classrooms for all the university students to accommodate at the same time. So that's a problem we are still working on.
Well, sir, thank you, Dr. Gopal Reddy sir, for your enlightenment about the new Blackboard software and also the ultra version of that same software. And I'm happy to, it's heartening for the, best university to share with all you that our university, in our education system, we are totally and completely, we are adopting LMS and Google tools for the conduct of these online programs. And the response of the students and the participation of the teachers He has been very well appreciated, and thanks to the management support for taking this as the lead program in our university. Thank you, sir. You also indicated regarding the Proctor U software system. We are also looking for that. I'm sure over a period of time, these two are going to be the models to take up the future adoption technology in the education system. Thank you, sir. Now may I now request Dr. Professor Shimon Rakhmilvich for the next as a speaker. Yes, Dr. Professor Shimon Rakhmilvich is a present professor in Institute for Desert Research in Ben Gurion University, Israel. He is working as a chairperson for the Israel Plant Science Society. He is a member of Crop Science Society of America and the Israel Society for Plant Biology. And he has served as the director of the French Associate Institute for Agriculture and Biotechnology for Drylands. And he has also served as head of the teaching committee of Albert Kurtz International School, Ben Gurion University of Negev. Now, may I request Professor Shimon for his address, please.
Yes, hello. So I just want to make sure you see my screen. Do you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I'm not used to Google Meet. Like the professor before me said, we use Zoom. So it's my first Google Meet presentation. And when Dr. Rupa asked me to give a presentation, I wasn't sure what about. So I thought what giving, and I'll show the Israeli perspective of education and research, what we call BC, DC, and AC, before, during, and after Corona. I just took this morning, a half an hour ago, a screen picture from my phone, and the Corona in Israel. In the top here is Corona in Israel. And do you see my arrow when I show it? Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes,
Someone here?
Yes.
Oh, so this is Corona in Israel, and down here is Corona in the world. So in Israel, we have up to now almost 17,000 people who got the virus. Out of it, currently less than 4,000 are sick, and 266 dead people. And this is the new cases of COVID from April. This is May, and this is today. So yesterday we had only 10 new cases in Israel of COVID, and things are looking better in Israel. So I'll show what. So I'll start with the academy. How do we confront this problem in the academy? And like I said, most colleges in Israel adapted very quickly to Zoom. We had other tools, and some companies even collapsed. So most of it to Zoom, which is a friendly platform, but I have to say it's not education dedicated. Okay, so we had to adapt and learn very quickly, like the professor before me said, how to do it online. So I'll talk what we do. We have about frontal courses, exercises, quizzes, and exams in the academy. So in the frontal courses, we can think about either synchronized or unsynchronized teaching, or using to merging both. So what do I mean when I say asynchronized? Is like the professor said before me. So researchers in advance, they publish their talks, their presentations, and the students can follow them before the class or during the class or after the class. Synchronized meaning giving the talk during the class, okay? And like I said before, using Zoom and sharing the presentations, and in parallel to presentations, you could use the whiteboard or Blackboard or whatever application you have. And whiteboard is a tool within Zoom, so that's why I write whiteboard. The advantages of our synchronized and asynchronized, first of all, it's very easy to discipline. So you could mute all very easily and just say you're all muted, you are much more organized, in my opinion. It's a well-organized tool in small groups, in small classes, and I teach mainly graduate students, so it enables discussions, and the students have, in my opinion, less fear. So you have a very fruitful discussion, especially in small groups. There's no travel required. You can conduct polls, or different polls using the poll application in Zoom, or using other tools like Kahoot, and this is very good for students for giving a break or asking other questions. You could share files. You have chats either privately or with all the group. A very important tool is the backup. So like you could record everything like you're recording now. So the backup is a very important tool. And the last thing, it helps you comfort. You could give your talk however you want, as long as your face and your body looks good. So what happens underneath doesn't matter. The disadvantages. So you have to count on good internet connections on both sides. It requires equipment of students and lecturers. And this is a problem. It's not a very big problem in Israel, but a few percentages of the students do not have or have malfunction. So the university must prepare itself in order to equip the students which they needed. I also feel that online is harder for weak students because the concentration is different. You have to concentrate in a different manner. So I feel it's harder for weak students, and it's better for better students. It requires new preparation and anticipation of comments of what will be, especially in the asynchronized. You have no personal connection. So the no personal connection is a big disadvantage and feeling of the students. No labs. The labs is a problem. So we are just back now for labs, but until now we had no labs, no mingling. And the Zoom platform, like I said before, is not optimal for education, although it's very easy. In general, when the classes are small, it enables more involvement and participation of students using co-host, Moodle, and WhatsApp applications. So you have questions up to now, or if not, I'll continue. So this was how to teach. Now, quizzes and exams. So quizzes are very easy to do in small groups when we have the students open with a video and unmuted. So you could take the big class and divide it into small groups, and each group is recorded. And when recorded, you could after that go back, and this will diminish the trust issue. At the end of the students, what we have, if it's not something online, so the students scan their quiz with their phones and they post it on Moodle. So we use the Moodle and everything, not like Blackboard, so we use Moodle. And so the problem, like was said before me, it requires more trust. And the exams should be specifically written for this mode. And I think the time of the exams should be shortened. Now, shortening the time of the exams is not a problem. It's also even better for the lecturers where they have less work at the end of the exam. And because it's hard to concentrate for a long time through the computer. This is in my opinion. So this is in how I see the academy. I'll just go very quickly through education in general. So in kindergarten, until a week ago, we had daily 30 minutes Zooms that required parents' involvement. Last week, kids went to kindergarten, started in capsules of up to 16 kids, and there they divided into 2 groups. And they had only 3 days a week because there was not enough space for that. So kids were only 3 days a week in kindergarten. From next week, we're going back to the pre-COVID era, but taking into account we are the kids will wash hands frequently, and parents will not be allowed in the kindergarten. So this is how it looks. This is my smallest kid. I have 4 children. This is my 5-year-old kid. So you see, they are very small groups, distant, keeping, and they are bringing their own food. So the caregivers don't mess with food. So this is the idea. The kids have a very good time because there's lots. It's very spacey, but they only go 3 days a week for that. So in school, So using school in school until 2 weeks ago, everybody was only using Zoom. 2 weeks ago, the classes 1 to 3 went to school in small groups, and also the 11, 12. So everything from 4 to 10 are still doing Zoom at home. So in younger ages, it requires parents' involvement, and a large part is devoted to problem solving and discussions not related to the curriculum. In older ages, it works good, and discipline issues are eliminated. So sometimes it's even better. So the only thing is also required constant communication through the WhatsApp. So every parent has like 5 different WhatsApp groups for every kid and for every whatever, just dedicated for that. And that's a lot. So the main problem in returning to pre-COVID include the size of classes and transportation. And this is being resolved now, because in Israel, we are planning to go back in the next week or 2. Just a small thing about research. So working in the lab and in the field was possible in 2-meter distance and using face masks. So due to safety reasons, you are not allowed to work alone by yourself. And I just want to say it was very easy to communicate with experiments through data loggers if you have Arduinos or other tools like that, using Wi-Fi, and discuss with the students using Zoom, Skype, or WhatsApp. So this is an experiment we started during the COVID, a very large tomato experiment with different rootstocks, and you could see we put here data loggers, and we could see all the results on the phone, and we have sensors that are sensing the field and giving us responsiveness of the data. So to conclude, COVID made us think outside the box. And the AC, the after Corona, I think will integrate the before Corona and during Corona, and encourage the development of new remote education specific application. And also the during Corona demonstrated the strength of studying in small groups and online. So there's also some strengths, and this is what I think we learned. So we will start integrating some of what we learned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Shimon. You could, relate the Zoom application in a student-friendly form, and you also come out with, Kahoot formats for improving the, efficiency, and also towards the elaborative adoption of this Zoom through Moodle system also for the better learning. Thank you very much for your insights on the practical issues where we can able to take up the technology adoption. Well, now next we have the speaker is Dr. W.G. Prasanna Kumar. W.G. Prasanna Kumar is the chairman of Mahatma Gandhi National Council of Rural Education under the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, and he has his education background from the social work for his PhD, and also he is expert in his master's in the sociology, public administration, and political science. Now, may I request Dr. W.G. Prasanna Kumar to take over the session, please. Dr. Prasanna Kumar, please. Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Congratulations. Congratulations to the university for taking up this excellent interaction. I would congratulate the total team which has taken up this interaction and for promoting this dialogue where we are sharing our experiences on how we have been handling post-COVID. It was interesting to see during COVID, before COVID, and post-COVID type of presentation a while ago from our Israel friend. We are into Mahatma Gandhi National Council of Rural Education is into promoting rural concerns in higher education. So we promote that through faculty development programs and curriculum development. The moment COVID arrived, we were all taken aback. We didn't know what to do because we are mostly into personal interaction. Our faculty members go around the universities. They conduct workshops on curriculum. They also conduct the faculty development programs. So we didn't get the opportunity of interacting with the faculty directly. And we are a very small organization, but a very big team of consultants working with us. So in order to handle this situation, what we have taken on was getting into a course, online course, learning about online course through online. So all our staff members, including me, we went through a 15-day course. So we have learned how to co-create MOOCs, how to use edit of videos, how to make videos, how to make presentations connected with videos. You are not tech savvy earlier. So all of us have learned. 15 of my colleagues, including me, we learned how to handle a program online. So we learned Google Meets, and we have learned how to handle Google interactions. And we also used GoToMeetings. We also used Zoom for generating interest, and for continuous monitoring. We used Zoom on a daily basis in the evening, interacting with the faculty. But then we also had a big program last week where we had 1,300 participants were there. 1,300 participants couldn't be accommodated either on Google Meet or on GoToMeetings or on Zoom. So meanwhile, we had an invite from the Union HRM, Human Resource Minister, where he was interacting on Facebook with all universities in the country. So we learned from him how to handle that. So whenever we have a large group of people participating and working with us or learning from us, we have gone on Facebook Live. So we had 6 of such interactions where more than 1 hour we had an interaction from one of our senior colleagues from US also. So wherever they were interacting on the Facebook. That's what we have used as a bigger tool, because Facebook Live can reach anybody in the world, or all people who can be connected to internet also, and Facebook also can be connected to Facebook Live. That is the biggest tool. Just 2 days back, I have learned about Google Suite, which is applicable to educational institutions, where 2,000 or 1,000 or 5,000 people can also participate. I'm yet to explore it. But that tool is free of cost, available till September 30th. So we can all try that. See, the advantage of classroom is not there in these electronic tools or the online tools. Our faculty development programs always have 1 day of field engagement where the participants go to, out of the 5 days of program, we have 2 days of interaction in the field. That is, they go to a village or they go to a school. They interact with the people there. They practice in the field. We are basically into experiential learning and promoting experiential learning. That is not possible when we are using these tools. So, but the course that we have conducted was on experiential learning. It is Gandhiji's Nayi Talim, Gandhiji's way of looking at experiential learning from his experience in Tolstoy Farm in South Africa and Phoenix Ashram in South Africa, where he made children and teachers to sit together, learn from each other by participating in activities. So this was a huge program. We initially decided that the program would be conducted in one language, but one language conducting a program for 1,300 people would be difficult. And taking their feedback and also doing evaluation and conducting assignments would be difficult. So we had to look for doing it in alternate languages. India, has so many languages. So we have conducted this program in 5 different languages. When we have an external guest, external resource person involved, that guest or resource person has spoken in the language that he knows. So the language that he knew or that is comfortable to him. So when it was a common language like Hindi or English, we had everybody queued in. But when it is Gujarati or Marathi or Tamil, we have conducted the program in these 3 languages also parallelly for the faculty. So we have made local arrangements. So there we went on Google Meet, while the larger audience was handled through Facebook and smaller audience was handled through Google Meet. Then we had an interesting workshop, faculty development program on case discussion methodology for business management schools, which are going to initiate rural management. That was a 5-day program. So every day we would give them a case, a video case, a case document, and ask them to read and discuss. That was a shorter group, smaller group. We had 30 people participating in it, where we used GoToMeetings. It was exactly seamless like a Zoom application, but it was more secure application. Today, Zoom has announced that they have come out with a more secured version. But anyway, we were instructed not to use Zoom for security reasons. So we were trying to look for alternate, except for our internal meetings where there was nothing confidential. We didn't use Zoom. So now we have the advantage of Google Meets, and Google Suite will be available for all educational institutions across the country, across the world. It's a very small fee that they have. I think some $5 per day or $5 for some hours of usage. But it will have all advantages of using Google Forms, registration of participants, interaction, assignments, everything together, because it's all integrated into Google. It's integrated into Google Docs, and it's integrated into Google Drive. It has integrated YouTube. Everything which is available for Google is available in this Google Suite. Anyway, we live in interesting times. We are learning from each other. And post-COVID, I am feeling that at least for one more semester, one more 6 or 7 months period, we will have to go through some rigorous checks on physical space, creation of physical distance between people, the 2 meters distance that we are talking about. It's not easy in a country like India, where we have many institutions which are public institutions, where we do not have online access for many people who are below the poverty line, or who are at the lower middle class level, and availability of power and school systems getting that type of support. It would be difficult at that level, but for the postgraduate level, definitely yes. So we are looking at interesting times and interesting activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Prasanna. Thank you. You took to the Gandhian period, and you were able to apprise and reapprise about the Gandhian thoughts. And compliments for your exclusive efforts in empowering the teachers into this new plan, and the entrepreneurial and not entrepreneurial experiences of Gandhiji's, and your trials across different languages. Really, this is an orientation for all of us to follow. Thank you once again for your time and for your insight in application of this Zoom and other applications in the education front. Yes, now let us move on to the another speaker. He is Dr. M.S. Subhash. M.S. Subhash is the Vice Chancellor of the Krishnadevaraya University, Bellary, and he has worked as the member of the Board of Governors of Institute of Management, Rohtak. He has served as Director of Best Practices Foundation at Dharwad. He has served as Chairman of the BIC Society, Hubli, and he has awarded with copyright on the MOVE, Market-Oriented Value Enhancement New Approach, and over 35 years of his experience in consultation and teaching business management and strategic management is really worth application in the field of business. And he has over 50 publications in international and national journals. Now he is with us to share his insights. Thank you, Dr. We are welcome, Dr. M.S. Subhash, sir.
Thank you very much to the Vice Chancellor. And in the beginning, I should firstly congratulate Bharat Meena for having started a wonderful institution which is spearheading this new initiative. And also congratulations to the Chancellor Rupa Vasudevan, who has spearheaded a lot of innovation. I know her since earlier days also. And thank you, the leader today, the Vice Chancellor of this university.
Thank you.
My pleasure to share with you some of my thoughts related to the span of 30 years or 3 decades. I have come to realize that students have changed. And have we really changed as teachers and as higher education itself? And that is where I thought that I should share with you about my discussion, which I thought I should share with you. I hope you can see the PowerPoint presentation. Hello?
No, sir.
Hello? No? You can see the presentation or no?
No, sir.
No, okay. Right. Okay, let me just quickly go through that. But the point I'm just trying to say is that the students today have a very low span of attention. This is something which we have realized. Earlier days, a student can sit for hours, maybe half an hour, 1 hour, or even 2 hours and listen to us. But today's students who are so much more exposed to a lot of multimedia and social media and other things, I think it's almost very difficult for us to see how their attention has really shortened a lot. That's one thing. Another interesting thing that we find is that most of the students are not able to keep going on the learning without gratification that happens at some point at periodic intervals. So this is where I thought that we need to look at can you have a look at the presentation now, or is it a problem? No? Sorry?
Dr. Subhash, sir, you need to click on present now, which is there on the right-hand side corner, as discussed earlier.
Yeah.
And then you can share your presentation.
Okay. Yeah. So therefore, okay. Is it visible now? Okay. Fair enough. Now the point is, yeah. So I have basically looked at that the changes that's happening in the higher education, we need to adopt a lot of changes in the higher education because of these 2 conditions. Thankfully, thanks to coronavirus that we've had, suddenly I find at a loss because all my students have gone home. Many of them are in the rural areas. They complain that they don't have connections, but still we have been forced by the ministry as well as the university authorities to go ahead with our online. So we're going ahead with our online. The most popular one, as most of them have said, is about Zoom application we have been using. There are lots of challenges that we have in Zoom application. It can only be a very poor alternate to our constant things. So what I have done is I have therefore taken this opportunity to go into the entire process of our education. And I'm looking at 3 different bases. One is related to the admission process itself, because most of the colleges today are facing the problem that if after pandemic and then the admission, if it's going to get delayed, the entire course will get completely upset. So including admissions to the new batch. So how do we handle that? So therefore, it looks like that the current method that we have, the current system that we have of having a common entrance test, having everybody come to a common place like the PGCET or the CET or NEET, these things have to go. We have to use this opportunity to find ways and means of having this test done at different times, 24/7 for our entire 365 days, maybe. Maybe right now, we cannot offer it all over the period. But we, in generally in management courses, we have three components, primarily the written test, the group discussion, and the personal interview. Coming to the written test part of it, we can always adopt the GMAT method, but then it requires somebody to come to a centralized place, a designated place where they can, so that you can make sure that the problems or challenges of cheating does not happen. But I'm sure we should find ways by which the multiple choice questions can be randomly picked up by a computer, shoot to different people, have a shorter duration of the response from the students, and make sure you collect them over a period of time. And maybe different, just like how GMAT has the method of having different strength or the difficulties of the questions and using it. So that's the way that we have to evolve our method. And I feel that this is the right opportunity for institutions to evolve different methods of admission test instead of adopting a simple plain test that we used to have. That's the first thing that I feel as far as admission is concerned. And also, unlike in the West, in India, most of the courses or admissions are handled like, there's a herd mentality that the students have. Everybody is choosing engineering, everybody is choosing medical or law, and they keep going over towards that. Not understanding this, especially, lost out areas like liberal arts and other, there are real challenges, not only getting students for the courses, but also to evolve the courses, how the courses have been designed and delivered so that we can use this. So I feel that as a teacher, this is perhaps one of the best at times to take to experiment new methods by which we can make the student familiar with. So I think we are forced to move into a learner-centric mode rather than the teacher-centric mode which we have been facing. This is a wonderful technology which can give. So if we're able to make sure that we're able to communicate to the students as to about the courses, the advantage of the course, what kind of career opportunities are possible, who are the best ones there, and which are the best teachers, and offer a plethora of teachers, they can make a choice of the teachers. So that will be a big challenge for the teachers also to place. So I feel that is one way by which we can get more students. You may not be getting them in hundreds, but you may get them in tens and 20s and shorter groups, like what our friends from Israel also spoke about, advantages of having group discussion. I don't know about the case discussion will be very, very difficult to handle online, but then these are the challenges that we have to handle. And I feel that after that, abroad, after the student is properly exposed to the courses, the choices that he can make, and how we can then comes to a very important part that I speak about is the delivery itself. The delivery normally talks about design of the courses, and I feel that so far whatever we are trying to push all these courses that we have, which is offline mode courses, and trying to push it through online mode. I think that is a wrong design basically. We need to rethink the whole design of the curriculum itself to make sure that we have a lot of ICT component into it, which means that either you use a blackboard or a whiteboard or use any other digital media that we talk about, but we have to make sure that we are able to find ways by which the courses have to be. So first, for example, I feel most of the syllabuses have been designed on a modular basis. And modular basis is like that you are supposed to have a module which is independent by itself, can be taken anytime and all that. But now we have to involve technology into it to make sure that these are having shorter modules, and also not only shorter modules, it should not get in the stress and the strain of a student. Continuity of the learning also should happen. Therefore, I have been finding out ways by which we can do this. And I feel that, you need to have, for example, 4 types of clips, I feel. Micro clips, midi clips, and macro clips and quanti clips. Now, these are the clips that we are talking about, which have to be incorporated. It's like something like a learning management system being tweaked during the pandemic times, actually. So when I say micro clips, I'm basically referring to ad clips, for example. Any ad clip is not more than a few seconds, but by that time they communicate something. So we have to redesign our method of passing on that information through micro clips, which only requires. So at the end of every micro clip, there will be a gap, and maybe at the end of every midi clips also there will be a gap. There can be some kind of gratification that we can incorporate into it. It could either be some kind of points that the students might get, or for asking any question, automatically a system which can give in those kinds of points. that advantage of that is that the engagement of the student throughout the course will be much higher, is what I feel on that, the delivery part of it. And another very important point, which even our professor from the US also was speaking about, is that I have some of my colleagues who are in the US who said, while we include, Zoom or any other method of online testing, the biggest challenge is really how do you conduct the test intermediate. So I feel that when you have these micro clips or mini clips or midi clips and quanti clips, one should be able to have this. And now coming back to the quanti clips, most of the people have found difficulties. Like, for example, in any of our courses having a lot of quantitative methods like calculations and formulas like finance and a lot of arithmetic being involved, they find that any of these Zoom application does not really help. So therefore, we need to have it properly clipped so that each of the concept that we are trying to, or each of the formula that we are going to try to explain, or how a particular formula can be applied. It can be in engineering, it can be in management. You should be able to run it. It should be possible for you to run back and forth to help understand the student. And I feel that. Yeah. And I feel that if that is particularly taken care of, it can be a fantastic possibility for a student to get properly engaged. And I feel that by this, there is a possibility, much better opportunity for us to move from maybe teacher-centric to learner-centric, because every student learns at his own pace by going back and forth on the formulas and things like that. That is one of the most important point that I have. And the last point is about the progression of a student. Everybody talks about progression of student, including things like maybe the placement and maybe higher education. All of these also can be progressed. I feel basically that while pandemic is a big challenge, I think it's one of the wonderful opportunities that we have, which we can make use of, and design a whole course. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Dr. Subhash Saab, for assessment of the students' attention part, then application of this modified Zoom towards admission, towards placement, towards learning-centric issues, and you also highlight about the possibilities of the new microchips, and which is a new thing to be learnt about. I'm sure that over a period of time, these type of adoptions in the technological front will certainly pay a better way towards the improvement of the quality of the teaching. Thanks for your insights and the enlightenment, Dr. Subhash Saab. Now we'll move on to Dr. S.B. Dandin. Dr. S.B. Dandin, he has served as the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Horticultural Sciences in Karnataka, and he has also served in the Biodiversity International as the technical officer, and he has worked as Joint Director of the Sericulture Program in Karnataka. He was the Director of National Silk Board Association in Bangalore. He has worked as CSI and TI Central Silk Board, Mysore. He has been awarded with Farmers of Karnataka, Reshme Belagarara, Raita Sanjeevini. He has a collaboration with Japan International Cooperation Agency, and he has awarded with the Best Project Award under JACA BSTD project, and he has more than 15 patents to his credit, and he has led the Sericultural Association in Government of Tamil Nadu. And we have now Dr. Dandin Saab for his insights and new thoughts on this application of technology. Dr. Dandin sir.
Thank you, Dr. Maheshwaran. It is my privilege to be with you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you kindly.
Okay, sorry. How best we can move forward in this crucial time of COVID, where the students and the taught are put to a kind of a new experience. Though I am not directly in a teaching line, but I have been coordinating with all my 6 universities in Karnataka as well as ICAR, how best we can modify our teaching learning system under this crisis. To be frank with you, we have few set of social problems. The first social problem is availability of the connectivity and the electricity supply in rural areas. Number 2, we are not really prepared to gear up that situation because the teachers and students moved apart from the center of their learning or the headquarters of the university, and to get them back and to make prepared the teachers to take an online courses was a task. When I used to interact with my two universities closely, they were asking me, sir, you have a problem of bringing them together, mobility is not available and things. There are two set of things we can view. The lower education, which is still more difficult to manage in the crisis because the schools, the rural area teaching system are not much available to gear up the situation. Whereas higher learning, yes, we are prepared and probably will be able to make use of all the available tools and technologies to reach the unreached people in a remote area. Our national system, NIIT or NCERT or CBSE, all these systems have been already working in coherence, how to make the students to be available at the time of teaching, and the teachers training also has been given as a course. In spite of that, some of the teachers are still reluctant how best we can do it. But we have to convert this challenge as an opportunity. Because of this COVID-19 situation, our use of the digital education system in the country has been taken as one of the challenge, and it is being successfully implemented in most of the universities. But in my mind, some of the courses which are practical teaching, probably we are yet to develop some of the modules or the teaching methods, how to reach this practical teaching on that. Recently, I had an opportunity to interact with the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University College of Horticulture curriculum, where, thanks to the earlier Vice Chancellor, he has already started deliberately the online examination, online correction, and online system, where some of my previous speakers told how to avoid cheating. Yes, the cheating has been very much avoided by keeping all other gadgets away from the classroom or the other places except their laptop. But other thing I find in Karnataka, especially disparity, some of the general universities have been given the laptop facilities to all students. But whereas the students from the agriculture system are yet to get. This is the one thing which we should know. But thanks to the small chat box, the mobile app everybody has got, we are now finding it very easy to manage the show. But now we have a system called Everywhere, Anywhere Education and Learning System. This has really led to a greater advantage of all the students and the teachers also. And along with that, we have now several options for the students. Either it is a web-based, or it is the cell system based, or it is a laptop based. So now we have to have a tailor-made teaching and learning modalities to the lower education system also, because this lower education system is not yet fully geared up because of the social problems of facilities, the teachers' availability, and also the students' mobilization. Then coming to the new system, what we are going to try on the cloud-based situation, which is most easy, simple, and also acceptable to many because of its accessibility. Because of this system, probably we may have to have, as early as 2014 or 15, we had a online course to all the teachers on floriculture, which is at our Mudugere College. Now that has been acceptable as one of the module to be followed. And this module, though not keeping in mind of the COVID, we have developed, and such system had such modules have to be developed in the larger interest of students and in the years to come. No doubt, COVID may last for another 2 or 3 months, as the case may be, but our teaching system should continue, whether COVID or no COVID, so that this will become a part of the system of our education. We have come a long way from a Gurukula system where Guru and Shishya used to stand by and learn many things. Now, smart class. It is EduCompo, smart classrooms, and it is also EduCompo, smart digital divides. They have come to the rescue by using the integration of certain systems, and also as and when there is a feasibility, a learner teacher interaction are the most important things. But now the examination system, we have not yet fully able to gear up in a technical education where only the objective type of questions may not be able to exactly extract the good knowledge of the student to meet his requirement. In view of this, a kind of an integration and a mix of the traditional and also the new systems should go. But finally, the challenge has been taken in a right perspective so that we'll be able to convert this big task into a challenge and make the country to depend more and more on digital education system rather than the existing, the fully class-based system. So with this, probably we'll be able to go ahead solving all the social problems, the distance problems, the rural area connectivity problems, and all those things. I thank Dr. Maheshwaran and also Rupa Vasudevan for having given me this opportunity to hear from some of my learned panelists who are already in a teaching line and probably will be making more efforts towards this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your orientation, tracing the state and national policy issues, and also highlighting the one of your model way back in 2014 as your experience in the floriculture front, and also your advice of getting into the cloud mode will be explored in days to come. I am sure that the relevance of these thoughts into the practical orientation is again a challenge. Maybe in the agriculture or higher education courses, this has to be explored. Thank you for your insight and impressions about the whole plan, sir. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. And now we have Dr. Ratnagiri. Dr. Ratnagiri is the president and the chief executive officer of the Genomics Biotech Incorporation in USA. He has served as Director of Operations and Acting Managing Director of the MWG Biotech Institute. He has served as Director of MNR Research Foundation, MNR Medical College, Medak, and he has served as Director of Memory DNA Core Facility and Professor of Medicine and Biochemistry in Emory University, USA. He is the lead molecular and cellular biologist, and he is a recipient of Talented Industrial Biotechnologist Award, and he has published more than 70 research articles. Now may I have the views and insights of Dr. Ratnagiri about the adoption and application of this technology in the education status. Ratnagiri, stop. Kindly switch on your mic, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's great. Thank you very much, Dr. Maheshwar. And I want to thank Dr. Rupa Vasudevan, madam. And since I already had, and especially Dr. Manmohan Singh, and who has been who invited me and also to be associated here. And those people who talked, the wonderful things what we hear about the educational system, how we are adapting in this COVID time. Now, I'm coming from a different angle, a little bit higher level of the students. Those are the people who are in the R&D, research and development, and translational research. Those are the people I'm talking about. Almost like all over the world, we have 4,000 people who are involved in this. And last 4 months, we have been going through how to coordinate and how to do it. And translational research is different. And the people who are involved in these things are different. And what is happening in the COVID time? And it was a really surprising thing. And several things. within the country of India, I have seen 20 different institutions involved, and we are working together. Number one, the way we started working is what is going on and what to do, how to do it. Zoom is we started, then we stopped that. Then WhatsApp application became very, very popular, and we started communicating along with the emails. Email is fine, but we started grouping WhatsApp groups. It is called BioClues, and all over the world we have BioClues. This is our group, and all the students are involved, research students. We are talking about the higher level, R&D, and training them, teaching them, and also going on at the same time and discussing about the problem about the COVID. This is very interesting, the way it happened, and last 1.5 months, including Dr. Manmohan Singh, and who involved in putting us to put all the things connected together in Andhra. I am in Andhra right now, in Hyderabad right now, and traveling back and forth. And very difficult to do that, but at the same time, communicating with the people, with the students who are working at the front end, fighting for the COVID, developing the products, putting them together, and bioinformatics, those people who are sharing all the information, therapeutics. I'm talking a little bit more science because we talk about the teaching in the lower level all the time from the USA and also our Israel colleague, and also our Professor Subhash Manguli also talked about it, and Dr. Other people. No, I really appreciate the way we are going through. But here, what is happening in the translation research scientists, how they are interacting, what is happening, and how did you cope up, and what are we doing? Everybody, they stopped what they are doing. Suddenly, they started working on the COVID. Diagnostics, therapeutics, intervention, everything. Products like this. Can you see? COVID. The product is coming out. And how we can help the community and country. And they have come up with the technologies like rapid kits, IgG, IgM. And we have come up with hand sanitizer, so simple. These are the students, they made it. The capsules, they made it. These are the students at the R&D level. We did it. We stayed far away. We couldn't even meet them, but we know them, what they are doing. They wrote the papers. They are already submitting the papers, putting the whole thing together like a review articles about what is happening in Ayurveda, what are the products. We have a BioClues, we have 20 different sects. We decided who is working on what. This happened, everything through the WhatsApp. Day in, day out, 24 hours, it is working. And they share. Then they say, sir, I want to talk this. This is the idea I have. I want to do this. Yes, do it. Then we come up with the bioinformatic people. They work the modeling. Then they share the information. We are all sitting in different places. I am only 3 people who are traveling between the states, within the country, with escorts, with the instruments. We are going to, I think Dr. Manmohan Singh already, he knows. He put me into the situation, sir, no, you have to go and work along with the AP government. And we did. We traveling all over the place. We went to the Kurnool, all the place, hot place. We established the instrumentation. We tested everything, and we did it, everything only for the community. We started doing every day 200 samples. From there, we took all the students who are working on this. We collected all the positive samples, negative samples, establishing the, from there, that became the basis for the research. And then we took all the positives and negatives, confirmatory, came to Hyderabad, IICT, collaborating with them. There, very interesting. If you go to IICT, just like a national institute, they stop, everybody closed. Nobody is going to the, all the students, they can come, but distance maintenance. And everybody can talk, only they have to have the mask. If you don't have mask, you cannot even come in. And then, even for lunch, one table, one person. Students, they can talk. Students should sit other table. They can discuss. Very interesting. As soon as you go, first hand wash. Your car wash. They wash the car, they decontaminate it. Very, very interesting, very strange, but they are maintaining perfectly. And this is the first time I ever saw in the country the way they are going, and the students, they are serious. Very serious. And when we put the things, these products are not ours. These are products made by them for the country, for the need, and they can be exported. It's a made in India, and you can see the Indian flag, everything, and made in India. And these are done within this last 2 months, not by me, by them, the students. It took a lot of energy for them to put the things together. Now we got the capsules for curcumin with pepperine. And that is one of the prophylaxis. Now, what these research minds are going is, sir, how the curcumin can help. We are writing a review article, how this drug is going to act. Thank you very much. It is really wonderful. And how the students at the higher end, but early from the basics are different, but the students sitting from different places, they come up with ideas, they put the things together, but using very simple WhatsApp as well as email system. And we can use the other things, whatever our colleagues told, but this has been working, and a lot of positive things came. Otherwise, these kind of things cannot happen within 3 months. They may take a lot of time, but these kids, these students, they learn, they have a lot of passion, but they come up with a really wonderful, I think this is good. I don't know, I can take some questions if anybody wants to ask me, because I'm the last guy on the things. All right, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Dr. Ratnagiri Saab. You have enlightened about the networking plans in the R&D system, which has led to a patriotic output of the country. The students have been energized with your motivation, wherein our country could able to produce a lot many derivatives, including allopathy and Ayurveda. That's a great thing. Hats up to your motivational support to this type of R&D team. Hope in days to come, we'll certainly follow your plan of WhatsApp and BioClues as a tool for promoting the R&D. We're extremely happy to have some inputs and insights from you for the application aspects of this technology into the education. Thank you so much, sir. So kind of you for having spared your time to this one. So nice of you. Thank you very much. Well, now with this, we are coming to the close of this webinar. Thanks for the expert panel speakers who have shared their experience. They shared their vision. They shared their aspirations also as to how the technology should be able to be a model application in the education front. Well, the educationalists, the leaders who are in the front to take the technology adoption have really been get a lot of enthusiasm from your insights. I'm sure over a period of time, refinement, redefinements will certainly happen to take the application of this technology into many fields, more so into the education field. Thanks for all your inputs. I thank our Chancellor, Dr. Rupa Vasudevan, for initiating these webinars and continuing this, encouraging to continue these webinars. We also thank Shri Bharat Meena Saab, the chairman of our BEST University, and Shri Manmohan Singh, the senior advisor, who all helped us to organize this, they have mentored in structuring the whole plan. I'm sure that all the participants, must have enjoyed, they have taken with the enlightenment from these speakers in the technology adoption in the COVID period, in the part 3 series. Okay, in the next coming series, we expect you to join us on the 23rd of this May month with the 4th series. With this, I thank you all for having been with us, for having spared your time. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vice Chancellor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ratnagiri Saab.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yep, I think Dr. Manmohan Singh is a good friend, and also we have been working long back, almost like 10 years now.
Oh, okay.
He is
Thank you, Dr. Giri. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr.
Very
Subhash.
nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the speakers and the
Thank you.
organizers.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Dr.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Dr. Ratnagiri Saab.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Manmohan Singh Saab, thanks for your participation, sir.